Buongiorno e ciao a tutti, I'm Aaron here, your instructor at 99 Problemi, and this is a video on the futuro semplice, that is the simple future. It is a one-verb tense, as opposed to the futuro anteriore, which I'll talk about in a second, that is a compound tense. So in this video I'll be talking about the future tense regular forms and endings. So I'll teach that first, then I'll follow it up with the slightly irregular stems. These are stems that have slight spelling changes, just to keep the pronunciation. And then I'll get to the highly irregular forms, which, no surprise, are the most used forms of the verbs. And we'll follow it up with some exercise to show comprehension. Okay, so take a look at this timeline. We see the present there off to the left, and then going forward into the future. First we meet the futuro anteriore, and then after that we meet the futuro semplice. Now, this is somewhat imprecise, but usually the futuro anteriore that will be treated in other videos, that is a tense that has to be fulfilled before another action takes place. When I will have done my homework, or when I shall have done my homework, I will go to the store. In that case, the go to the store part is the futuro semplice. But for this video, all you have to know is that the futuro semplice is just a future tense that will talk about, usually about actions that will take place in the far off future, maybe a month from now, a year from now. It's not as often used as the English I shall go, or I will go, as people don't often say shall in conversation, but I'm going to the store. We use a specific kind of construction to talk about that future, whereas in Italian they're more likely to use the present tense. Domani vado al supermercato. Instead of domani andrò, using the future, Italian is more likely to say, tomorrow I'm going to the store. They're going to say, I go to the store in that case. And it's just something that you have to feel out. Just understand that the future is not as often used as it is in English, in Italian. Okay, so that's a little bit note on that. And yes, there's the example about the mangerò, I will eat. And then the future, futuro anteriore, di avrò mangiato, I will have eaten. So, quando avrò mangiato, andrò al supermercato. When I will have eaten, I will go to the supermarket, which doesn't make any sense, but doesn't have to. Let's get on to the formation of the regular future stems and ending here. So basically, I've got some model verbs up there, the portare, scrivere, and salire. And the first thing that you can do to all these is just chop off that final E, and you've got pretty much have your future stems, with the exception of that ARE, regular stem. You have to change that A to an E. I guess it's easier to say with that. Something is going on there that makes that change from A to E. Sometimes they're harder to say with that A. So that's my thought on it, but who knows? Could be totally different precedent than that. So portare will become porter. These are future stems. You need to form a future stem first. So scriver and salir. So that's carry, write, and salir is like go up. Like salirò, I'll go up the stairs. Salirò le scale. The endings are o, with an accent. Tu hai. The lui lei lei form is a, with also with an accent. So two accented forms in the singulars. And then in the we ending is emo, the voi ending is ete, and the loro ending is anno. Two ends. Alright, and if you look down at the bottom and you put all this together for the modal verbs, you'll see that portare is porterò, porterai, porterà, porteremo, porterete, porteranno. Scrivere is scriverò, scriverai, scriverà, etc. And salire is salirò, salirai, salirà, and so forth. There are slightly irregular stems that basically follow the pattern that I just described to you. So they're really not irregular stems. They just have these little spelling changes, orthographic changes, if you want to call them, where they just change a little thing. And you've seen these before in the maybe in the present tense verbs that want to conserve a certain sound of the infinitive, that so they need to make a change in the stem in order to keep that because of the rules going on. So take a look at this first one. The cares, okay, if you have a verb that ends in care, like cercare, to search, when you make that change, right, remember that you have to change the ARE to an ER to make the stem. But then you get cer, which sounds very strange, and you'll need to add an H in that second part of the word there to conserve that car sound. So instead of cer, it becomes cer, ker. Okay, same thing here with the gares, pagare, to pay, that becomes pager. Okay, notice that all these result from difficulties with the ARE verbs. Okay, cominciare, to begin, that's comincer. In this case, instead of keeping that I, the I drops out. Instead of making it cominciere, it's comincer. So it conserves that, cominciare. Mangiare, see that soft, that J sound from the giare there, that has to be conserved, but you don't want mangiare, that's why they take out the I and it makes it manger. Okay, and lasciare is same thing, you want to conserve that sh sound of the infinitive, lasciare. The exceptions to this are verbs like sciare or spiare, aviare, raviare. These verbs, when they have, if you really, you have to go to the first person singular present and see if the I is stressed. That's the trick here. But if you just remember that there are like 4 or 5 major verbs, or sometimes not so major, like raviare is not a very major verb, but at any rate, if that I is stressed in that first person singular, then you keep the I. So sciare means to ski, right? But it's not like lasciare above, it's sciare. Notice how sciare, you hear that I sound, but lasciare, it's almost it's lost, really, it's lost. So in this case, you need to keep the I. Okay, scier, and it would be spier if it were to spy, and so forth. And then, of course, to the end of these stems, you just add the regular endings in the future. Cercherò, cercherai, etc., and so forth. Well, those are the slightly irregular stems, and then there are also the irregular future stems that are just plain strange, some of them. Essere, of course, the most common verb, is also the most irregular. Instead of essere, it's sar. And these are verbs that, many of them are verbs like dare, fare, stare, these short verbs that just drop the final E. So dare is dar, fare is far, stare, star. There's another group that drops the final E, but also drops that central vowel in the infinitive stem. So andare becomes andra, and so it'll be andrò. Avere, avrò. Cadere, cadrò. To fall, dovere. To have to, dovrò. Potere, to be able to, potrò. Sapere on the other side, on the right side. Sapere, saprò. Vedere, vedrò. Vivere, vivrò. And then there are these verbs in the next group, bere, parere, rimanere, that's ber, where they double the R's. Okay, so I've tried to chunk these into different categories that might make them easier to remember, but I highly recommend just sitting down at some point and just really committing these to memory. It'll make your life a lot easier to recognize them off the bat. They are the most common verbs. Yes, I think we're ready to go on to the exercises. Obviously, having just given you the irregular future stems, I don't expect you to know all of them, but if you want to pause it here and go and memorize these and really do a lot of work, that's fine. Or if you want to tackle the infinitives, or sorry, the exercises by looking back at these future stems, hopefully you've taken notes, and you can go back and reference all of this stuff. In addition, you can go to 99 Problemi and check out the notes that I've made there for the future. Okay, so for this part, you'll be forming the future tense with a given subject. And just take a look at this first one here. For number one, I've asked you to form the to form of pagare. And in this case, remember that in order to keep that hard G sound in pagare in the infinitive, you have to put an H in there when you make the vowel change in the infinitive stem. Okay, so why don't you pause it here, and when you're finished doing 2 through 20, you can unpause it and get the answers. And remember, when you see one of those magenta minus signs, to make it negative. Okay, number 2, this is the to form of leggere, that is leggerai. Number 3 is non finirai. Number 4, we go to a reflexive, and these are just like any other reflexive. The first thing that you're going to put out there is the appropriate reflexive pronoun out in front. So in this case, it is me, because it's the io form, and you're going to do whatever you would normally do to an are verb in this case. So it becomes mi sveglierò. Number 5, slightly irregular, the noi form of andare, which is andremo, we will go, we shall go. 6, voi rimanere, irregular double R, rimarrete, you all shall stay, or will stay. 7, loro non saranno. 8, lui non studierà. 9, to sciare, and this is one where you have to keep the I, even though it's an SCI verb, because it is emphasized in that first person present singular. Sciera, in this case, scierai. 10, io non farò. 11, lei, another double R, verrà. 12, tu non darai. 13, lei dirà. 14, io mangerò. Remember to drop the I to keep that soft G. You don't want mangerò. You want mangerò. I will eat. I shall eat. 15, we shall sing. Canteremo. 16, lui non berrà. Again, a negative. 17, loro non vedranno. 18, io mi alzerò. 19, noi non guarderemo. And 20, loro torneranno. Okay, so that's it for that video. If you have any further questions, be sure to ask them on the YouTube page, and if you'd like, you can head on over to the website at 99problemi.com and check out some notes over there on the future tense. You can also subscribe to the channel on Facebook or follow me on Twitter, all at 99 Problemi. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Grazie.